Welcome, Sketchbook Heroes. Here we got some drawing challenges tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be practicing our drawing skills here. We've you hear the curious. Let me share my screen and jump right into this. We've got quite a few drawings that were submitted, so let's go over them. This one's simple but complex. I don't know. I might skip that one as a first one. We'll go into this simple drawing, cartoons. And we shoot for accuracy, so draw for accuracy. And the more you practice drawing shapes and seeing like this and studying things, well, we'll go over the questions that were submitted tonight. Somebody asked about drawing from memory. So we'll do that. We've got these simple drawings we're going to start off with. And then we've got this one. And depending on how level of detail we go into, some of these will draw really fast. Some of these will draw really slow. And depending on how much detail and how much work you want to put into it, it'd be up to you. Because we could spend like all day or the whole hour, 2 hours just doing one of these drawings. All right, let's see. And some of these we might just skip. And this was funny. This was uploaded by Demi. How to gracefully disguise flatulence. Very funny. And then we've got this one. So we might end the night with that one. I think that's the last drawing. 13. No, there's one more. Oh, yeah, this one. This is one of our pictures last week that we didn't get to, but this is great. You can see they uploaded the drawing that they did. They're ready to, you can see the shapes, the angles, and their proportions look really good. Congratulations. So yeah, let's get started. We'll skip that one. We'll just jump into this one. So when we're drawing, I look at try to see the biggest shapes first of all. So and the biggest shape I can see is definitely there's a square here, right? And I just see the square and I use that as a basis to kind of break things down. So there's one square there, another square there, and then another square there. So this ratio is about 1/3. And that's kind of the space you're going to need for this drawing. You can see kind of how each of these kind of, it breaks into that space. You can see the hands in there. One's a little bit higher, one's a little bit lower. So we do study the drawing and kind of look at it before we get started. And then we'll start drawing this. And just kind of like a warm up too, depending on what level you're at. You can see the angles of the two ears together, the two eyes together, and this angle kind of creates another shape. Trying to see what's not there to draw what's there. All right, so that's why we do that. So you can see that one square, and then we'll just go ahead and start drawing it. I'll put this image in the chat. Let's see. Hopefully we're not having any. Where's my chat? There it is. I'm going to screenshot this. There we go. Capture that, and then it's in the chat if you'd like to download it. I'm also going to screenshot it without anything on it, so you can have it without anything. You can draw it on your own pace, at your own pace. We do have beginners here, so depending on what level you're at, if you want to draw extra stuff or do your own kind of drawing, you can. Here we go. One more screenshot. And if anybody needs the actual link, we can give you the link as well. But let's get started. All right, here we go. All right,
Should I go to the chat to access the picture?
Yeah, so if you want to see us, definitely to access the picture, you will need to go to the chat. At the top of the hour, I will cover these questions. We have some questions here that were submitted by people joining us. So at 7 o'clock, we'll go over those. But let's go ahead and just jump in.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm starting to cheat right now by using the guidelines. So this is going to help a lot, but thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'm sorry.
I'll do it without the guideline.
Okay.
I'll do it without the guideline.
That's fine. Thank you. All right. So I've got my square. So the reason why we use a square is because it's same height, same width. Let me highlight myself. All this stuff will be, here we go. There we go. So it's the same height, same width. We need 3 squares just to get it started. And we use a square because no matter how big or how small you draw it, it's going to be a square anywhere, right? So we have that square, and being able to draw squares and see squares and practice drawing squares, they're everywhere. And that's a good start for drawing shapes. So there's 1 square, 2 squares, and then 3 squares. And that's where our drawing is going to fit. And before we even get started, we know it's going to fit on our paper. So how many times have you ever had a drawing and it doesn't fit on your paper or where you're going? So you can have a good start there. One of the hands is going to be right about there on the cat, and the other one's a little bit higher up, just slightly, not much more, but right about there. And they're about a fourth. We look at fractions, so you can break this in half and in half again. It's about a little bit, probably a little bit bigger than a fourth of that side, or a quarter of those circles there. I'm going to block everything in. We've got the ears that come up right about there at this angle, right from the center, go out this way. And we've got this other one that kind of probably, I would probably even say right in there, that these two angles. So one is for the ears and the other one is going to be for the eyes, right in there. One set of eyes going to be right about there in that square, and the other one right about there in that square. All right. And a simple triangle nose, the ears, I'm gonna go up there. The hands are there. And the body. The body is a slight little curve, And I can see it's already coming out a little bit. I'm gonna have it, it's gonna probably be a little bit longer than my 3 squares. So I'm gonna have 1 foot here and another foot over here on the side. And then the tail just curves right around in there. The tail curves right around in there. And I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good for blocking everything in. Everything's kind of blocked in. The big shapes and the middle size shapes. Now I can already go ahead and start drawing it in. I'm going to go ahead and use, let's use a different color here. Let's grab this. Actually, let's grab a pen just for the fun of it. And the hands are just 3, almost like 3 little circle shapes. One at the top. And it's kind of like a clover. You can see it kind of going around here and around. So in that circle shape, those 3 clover circles, I'm gonna bring the hand down just slightly, bring it slightly, because we need to put the ears, the hand goes behind these ears here. So we're gonna use this angle here where this ear is on this side, bring it down, comes to a point, then bring it over. See, these angles help. The tendency is to try to straighten out the face, but this whole face is at an angle. And there it goes right onto that circle. So it should be landing on that other circle, that second circle. And this is just a ballpoint pen. If it was a marker, it would probably give us sharper lines, but I'm getting a little bit of a sketchy line in there. Now I can attach that hand to that top part of that head. We can zoom in as well. There we go. Attach it. If you're shooting for accuracy, that's actually probably a little bit over this way. I'm going to move it, scoot it over just a little bit. And then it does look like it tapers, which means it goes from thin to thicker. So notice that taper. So it's more than just drawing the shape or the line, it's drawing the shape. You got to see the shape and the way the shape of that hand, arm kind of gets wider as it comes down. There's that. And let's put the eyes in. Let's put these eyes in. Notice the distance between them. There's a bit of a distance. I might have to push that a little bit out, slightly out, now that I see that probably there's a little bit more of a distance in between. And that's placement. Seeing the placement of things is a challenge sometimes. But there we go. Here's the second eye. Get both of the eyes right in there. There's about an eye space. There's actually less than an eye space. So my placement is a little off here. All right, here we go. Get those eyes. And then we've got the pupils right in the center of those two. 1, 2. On Tuesdays, we do have a more advanced drawing. We will be out next week because next week I will be in Washington, D.C. We will be visiting out there, the capital. And there we go. The nose is a triangular shape right about there, and it kind of rests like right where the eyes are resting. That same, it's just a little simple triangle right in between the eyes. And then this other arm, it's going to come up and same as the other hand, the two. And if you want to draw light until you get it right, draw light until you get it right. There's 1, 2, 3. Notice I just 3 little circles I used as guides. And they kind of, then I'm just going to draw around them like this, around like that. So you can get the feel of the form, get the feel of the form. See, because those circles are there. That's it. Now with this one, the arm comes down and then it curves into the body, down to where the feet are. And I'm missing that bottom one. It's okay. Let's see. Yeah, it does stick out a little bit. But I really like this, the feel of this, the body as it curves there. Feel free to do another cat, maybe a couple cats on the screen. We had a cat like this that would climb our screen. All right. You should post the picture. Let's see. Ooh, yes, I will post the pictures in Facebook. All right, I'll do that. Yeah, so if you're part of our Facebook group, I can post them there. I can post them in the meetup when I get back to the meetup. Thank you for that.
You can even do a challenge. Say, I take a picture of this and see if anyone can do a weird sketch of it. They don't have to be good, just a little sketch of something you photograph.
Oh, that's actually a great idea. Have little competitions. We've never done that before. 2 years of doing this, we've never had competitions. That would be great, actually. And as we come back, yeah, that would be interesting. All right, I'm going to zoom out.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a landscape. It can be just something you see, like something on the wall or whatever. Something that tickles your fancy, and you would get a kick out of seeing people try something.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, make it a little interactive, like the monument, the Washington Monument. I'm wondering what the I know the ratio is of that monument. So the ratio of the monument. So how many squares will fit inside the monument? That would be the ratio. That would be a good, actually even guessing tonight, how many squares. I would guess, let me see, I'm here. I would probably say it's somewhere around there. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's probably more than that. At least 10. No, it's probably.
If you're interested, since you said you're going to be in sorry.
Yes.
Since you said you're going to be in DC, I would certainly advise. I never had the chance to visit it, but I do know that there's a cherry blossom garden that's here in Washington D.C. I forgot where they are, where it is exactly. Where there's supposed to be a cherry blossom garden, and there's actually a lot of history to. And there's a lot of history to it. There's actually a lot of history to it. It was planned in the early 20th century. So if you're interested, go ahead and look it up. And I've heard the view is supposed to be quite spectacular of it.
Yeah, and they're blooming right now. Yes, we heard. So that's definitely. I was going to go a little later, and then I heard the blooming, and the blooming is actually earlier now because of, I guess, global warming. But yeah, definitely, it's going to be a sight we're going to see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so here's our cat so far. I'm going to put the tail because the tail's on top. We usually try to get a sequence going, and I can see the tail kind of fit right in there. So you can see that shape right in there. I'm going to get that tail to kind of go right in here. And this is a good challenge because these are parallel lines. As you're drawing one line, you're actually, we've got the outside line. I kind of drew the outside line first and then try to get it parallel without it tapering. It almost tapered there for a little bit, but getting these two lines to go parallel, that's a skill. So if you're having trouble, that's okay. It's going to take some practice to do that. And that's one of the exercises, is just looking for parallel lines, parallel shapes. And there you go. There's that tail. So there's that side. Cute little cat. I'm going to go with the other side of the body. There we go. It's there. Nice sharp line. And let's get these toes in there. Same as the hands. Same style. It's just going around and around and around. So everything you see is made up of shapes. Everything you see is made up of shapes. Learning to see the shapes. It's a puzzle. And DC, I think one of the spectacular things are the metro train stations. They are ginormous. I have no idea where they put the dirt when digging the huge caverns. Yeah, I know. Well, sorry you are having to go through that. You could watch and do finger painting or feet painting. What is it? I may have to bail early, Mike. Oh, yeah. Wow. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, sorry, but yeah, I know it's one of those challenges. Could be good exercise or could be a hard thing on the hand, especially repetitive motions.
I'm trying to go gentle. I have a little glove, but
Ladio, I actually have another cat on this page from the drawing session that I did the other day.
Uh-huh.
So there's a guy, there was a model posing and his cat decided to get in on the action. So he got to draw his cat.
All right. We'll share right now. I'm almost done with this one. I'll let you share right now.
Okay.
That's it. I'm gonna put the little scrape marks as it's scraping there. And there we go. All right. In about 5 minutes, we'll go over, actually after the next drawing, we'll go over some of the questions that were submitted. One of them is like, how do you keep yourself motivated when you don't feel like your drawing art is good enough? That's a great question. All right, let me see. I can spotlight you now. Let me see. All right, hold on just 1 second. There we go. Oh yeah, nice. Good form on it.
Interesting.
All
Okay,
right,
thanks.
great. Thank you for sharing. All right,
you.
anybody else would like to share?
Yeah, I'll show mine.
Sure. All right. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Sweet.
nice.
Very nice. Awesome. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's go to the next one. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. That could have been a challenge. That was kind of challenging. Actually, I wasn't as accurate as I usually am tonight, so we'll see.
I put mine in the chat. If
Oh, okay. Oh, I see the chat. All right, I'll get to it. I don't see it there, actually.
scroll above the
Oh,
scroll above the thread. I'm working on digital.
Oh, I see it
tablets,
now.
so-
Yeah, I see it now. There it is. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, there it is. Actually, I'm sharing it there now. Cool. Super cool. Yeah, it's all just a puzzle and it's just practice. All right, let's get to, here we go. Our next drawing. There we go. This one's squares. You can definitely see the squares and angles here. The next one after this one is this one. This one you can see the circle here. So we'll go through these pretty quickly. Let's see. Here we go. Let's get the square in here. Now, unluckily, I can't get that square at an angle, but you can see that this line here. I would think that the square is probably right about there. If it was an actual square, it's a little bit longer than a square. Let's see if I can put it in there and see. So I can actually do an actual square. Oh, my keyboard's not reacting. Let me see.
Hey, my hand hurts too much, so I'm actually gonna have to bail. But thank you for running this class.
Okay, you're welcome. You feel free to look at our videos and take it at your own pace as well. That kind of helps. Sorry that your hand's hurting, but thank you for
These things
joining us.
happen. Thank you so much. I'll be here next week, though.
Okay, great. Oh, I'm going to be out next week.
Oh, right. Week after.
Week after.
See you.
All right. You're welcome. Yeah. All right. Let me see. My keyboard is acting weird. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Oh, that's better. There it is. So there's a square. Oh, look at that. That's actually pretty close to square. If I were to turn it though, I think yeah, this would go up. From here to here, it's a square, but then I can't tilt this square. But you can see that square there. And what's great about this one are the angles. Look at this, the angles. All right. And you can see those angles and notice how things kind of connect. So you can almost even see another square if we were to continue here, these two squares, as that would help right in there. I'll probably say the center would probably be right in there. But if you get it as 2 squares, that would actually just get you really close as far as accuracy. Then you've got these angles here, these 2 angles here, this whole other body. I would probably even say there's another square right about in there, right about in there. And this one looks wider. It looks like it's wider down here than it is up there. And if I put it in Photoshop, that would help. All right, let's just go ahead and let's get started on this one. I'll pick up the pace a little bit. Let me just screenshot this one, and then we'll do this one. I'm going to draw it a little faster so we can get to the bird. The bird, we got quite a few nice little beginning ones tonight. So I can pick up the pace. All right, here we go. Let's stop sharing. Let's get going. All right. Take on this challenge. Probably the toughest part would be just getting that the angle of that the hat. You can see that angle. Try to capture that angle. And once you have the angle, that's it. These other lines are perpendicular to that same angle. And you can see 1 square. There's my 1 square. Probably just a little bit longer than a square to get for accuracy. And so it's a little bit longer than a square. There, that would be the hat. I can see the hat there. If I continue this to another square, that's how far the nose would be. So right about there is where the nose would be. I can see that, and that's actually perpendicular to, I know these are big words, but it's just going like across to where the line is. Yeah. That same angle. So there's my hat. That's a square. The nose is going to be right about there. Then I can see from the nose kind of going up at this angle, and that angle is where the body is going to come out from here. The body or the nose, the mouth, at this angle here. There we go. That angle there. So the distance is almost a square. That helps get the nose. Once we have the nose, you just come in the nose a little bit and getting this line perpendicular, or which is square right here. That's square to this line. Perpendicular means that it's like at a 90-degree angle right there. Watch the thickness of this. Try to imagine the mouth that's going to be in here, and then the bottom of that chin. And then yeah, that looks pretty good. The eye is going to be right about in there. The ear right about here. And I'm blocking it all in lightly. If I need to make any adjustments, I can do these adjustments afterwards. But if I block everything in, I can kind of see where it's at. Kind of gives me something to shoot at. And then adjust as we go on. There's the coat or the jacket. I wonder what this is called. The lapel? Is it the lapel?
Oh, a lapel.
Lapel.
Or is it? Actually, I don't know if it's lapel or lapel. I thought it was lapel.
Uh-huh.
Lapel in my section of the world.
Lapel?
Lapel, yep.
There we go. Here we go. Here's a marker. So I'm going to do this with a marker now. Let's center it. That's a good center. I'm going to go ahead and just draw it in. Now with a marker, you can see I can get nice, clean lines. This is more of a drawing, not a sketch, but sketching is good. Sketching is good. You want to sketch. And then we'll actually, there we go. See how far it goes out. Draw that again. And this is, oh, I don't know. They probably definitely use a ruler. Some kind of straight edge. We're doing this all freehand. It's good practice. Let's get this. This continues for the nose as it comes in. I might bring that this nose part out a little bit. See, I'm going to bring it out. Now that I'm looking at it, I can make these adjustments. And then here's that that nose and this angle here, that angle there. Oops. These two lines are parallel, going in the same direction. I'm bringing this out. So this whole tie is going to be out a little further. There's my tie. And then we've got the bottom of his face right in there. Bring it down just a little bit. There we go. The mouth, I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I made an adjustment. That's good. Here's the ear. All right, so you can see the drawings we're doing. We're going to get a little more fancier as we go on through the night. Feel free to join us at any time. If you want to take a break, come back, or go all the way through. Here's an eye. There's an eyelid. Then there's an eyebrow. I think the eyebrow, I didn't make too much space for it. Not doing my planning too well. Every time, and this drawing is like a puzzle. You gotta get all those pieces together and get them to go right. There we go. Let's finish up this neck. And then the lapel. One. I'm going to bring this up a little bit closer. Two. And there it is. All right. We are at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. So let's get those questions going. All right. So how do you keep yourself from motivated when you don't feel like your art is good enough? Well, good enough is a good question. What good enough for what? What is it you're doing? And that's really important to know. What is your artistic intention? What are you shooting at? If you're just doing it for fun, well, are you having fun? If you're doing it for an art show, okay, that's a whole other standards and things that you need to do. I think starting off with a sketchbook is really good, and practice and the journey is really important, and not really worrying about what other people say if they're not in the arena. If it's like here, you should feel free to show your work. And people in the arena really don't listen to the crowd, right? They listen to each other. They listen to people who are playing, because it's easy to criticize. And sometimes we're afraid of showing your work, or afraid of because we're afraid of what people are going to say or think. So that holds us back. Don't let people or things hold you back from practice. It's just practice. It's just sketching. My drawings tonight, I feel aren't as accurate as they have been. So, but it's okay. It's just doing it. Sometimes you have your ups, sometimes you have your downs. So you're just doing it. All right. Somebody asked about dimensions. Yes, dimensions, height and width. Then from there we go into we go into space. Like this would be a cylinder. Doing things, giving it form, I guess, is what the question is, but it just said dimension. So that's not really a question. We can make this into a box if we wanted to, just give it an angle, and that would be a box, but it's really a cylinder. See the two angles going back, and now he's got a box hat, and it would just be going back in space. It's just angles. Oh, watch out for a tangent there. And there we go. Those are angles. He's got a box hat now. All angles. All right. How to draw without references? Without references. Well, that's a really good question. I think the only way to draw without references is to have references in the past and practice. Like if you were to ask me to draw a cat, well, I can draw a cat. We just drew a cat, but it's just really the practice. It's how do you write a word, right? Well, you've seen the words and you've practiced writing words. So that's the way you do it. And you just really got to study, just like vocabulary, building your vocabulary. We've got the cat, we can do a cat. And this is, I'm drawing without a reference, but because I've drawn cats before, right? We've drawn cats here many times. But you should, practice. You should look at things and see how they're made, and practice drawing and building your memory. Also knowing form, the different forms and shapes, using the shapes to help with that. All right, another question, basic shapes, still challenging. That's great. Somebody wrote that. Yeah, just use shapes. I think that's it for our questions. Shapes, heads, textures, because this was more like topics. So I'm not going to be looking at topics anymore. My mother said I convinced myself as a little child that I could not draw because I had two older sisters who, of course, were better than me. Yeah, you see, that's what happens. You get comparison. You get what is it called? Yeah, just by comparing people. Like even twins, they get compared a lot. The end result, I am not learning to draw until I am in my 60s. Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. It happens, and you just, you got to get over that. It's a comparison, and it's really devastating on just society now with Facebook and people comparing themselves. They compare to despair. That's what it is. They compare to despair. They see other people and they see the whole race with the Joneses and seeing other people. And you don't want to compare to despair. If anything, you want to compare and say, how did they do that? And compare to get inspired. All right, great. Thank you for that post, though. It definitely happens. All right. Ooh, let's go with this bird now. Let's go with the bird. I'm going to copy this. I haven't been doing this. Copy image address and post it over here. And
does anyone mind if I show the results I came across, or do we save this till the end? Or
yeah, sure. If you want to show it now or till the end, we have these little breaks. It's fine. If you want to, I can.
Breaks?
Yeah.
I don't want to disrupt. So thank you.
Would you like to show?
Sure.
There you go. Oh, there you go. That's pretty good. All right, awesome. Oh, and you're doing yeah, okay, great. And I see your little sphere there, getting the form. Great. All right, and sometimes you raise your hand. You can raise your hand or you can. All right, so here's our bird. Let's put our circle on there. Let's put our circle on there. You can see how it relates to an actual circle. All right, here we go. Let's get this circle in there. There we go, perfect circle. There we go. Let me move it in place. And you can see how it relates. It's a little bit big. Let's make it a little smaller. Holding down shift. Oops, this one. There, I think that's it. Let's move it in place. Maybe a little smaller. Yeah, I think we're right in there. Yeah, so you can see the circle. I think there's a slight squeeze, yeah, on this side. That's what it is. On this side, it looks fine. You can see it pulls up a little sooner and then really pulls into that body. Notice half the circle. This whole body is just about half a circle, just a little bit half a circle. If we were to put that half circle. So if we were to draw a circle as round as you could, and then you can see that in here it does push in slightly, and then in here even this kind of angle here, and here also a slight angle there. And then the curve, of course, but what's more important is seeing, yeah, the halfway point right in there. All right, you can see the head up there. All right, let's get on this one. Let me put another axis line in
You
here.
could also, yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, let's see. All right. And Justin, you had something in the chat that they said nice for your work. Appreciation. It's captured and it is in the chat. Let me capture it one more time without. Of course, we're picking up the pace and the drawing are getting a little bit more complex. Although I think they've been tough. I've been having a little trouble with them. If you want to trace something, you can. I've got like a tape to trace. I mean, tracing is okay. Even tracing like pictures, if you're really having trouble, tracing is okay. You really want to.
I traced a circle.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on where you're at. If you're sketching, sketch out a circle. See how I'm sketching? Sketch it out. There it is. There's a circle. And then I can break that in half. And we're already almost halfway there, right? That's it. I drew a circle, broke it in half, and then it does come in a little bit right in there, and this angle here as well. That angle for that, and then there was a slight angle under here, under that right there, and then you see that the curve in here. The curve almost takes care of itself, because you can. What's really more important is getting these angles. And then the curve, you can widen it or see how it fits better. But really getting those angles first is like the most important part. And then the head kind of coming in, curving in there. See the head curving in there. And that's pretty much it. I see that there. All right,
Can
I'm
I
gonna
do
go
a
ahead
quick
and
comment real quick?
yes.
Um, the, you were saying a couple of important words about you said angles and you said something else, and I definitely agree on that, because compared to your bird, my bird has lost a little bit of weight, but it came to be. So he got a little smaller,
It's all
but
good.
at least he looks like a bird.
Yeah. That's the first step, you know. Yeah, don't get caught up on what's important is the process. You know, we're praising the process and the practice. And you know, when you're practicing, just like doctors, practice, you know, they don't save every patient. Even lawyers, they don't win every case, right? That's why they call it a practice. They have their law practice. And you know, and even sports, they go out and practice. They just and it's better to sweat during training than bleed during battle. You know, it's all this practice stuff. It's looking for these shapes and looking to see how it all fits together, these puzzles. But you can see how I kind of broke it down. I mean, it's half a circle. That'll give you, you know, that'll really, because if I even do this small, do my circle this small, and then half that circle, it's going to be really close. It's going to be really close to that same bird up there, right there, because that same ratios, same ratio, right, for this little bird as it is to this big bird. All right. Let's see. So this one of the feathers swoops into this space, into that circle space. One of the tail feathers, we're going to shake right in here. It kind of really fits in there, nicely as it comes across and kind of flows along that circle shape, that tail feather. Then you have the other tail feathers that are kind of coming up here. One kind of looks like if you look at them both together, kind of look like a heart shape. And I can kind of sketch that in and say, okay, it's going to fit right in there. And then there's another one that's over here on this side. Sketch it in lightly and just get it in lightly to block it in. And once you kind of like where it's at, then you can go darker and sketch it in, almost even scribbling it in, and then choose the right tail feather. And the rest is just detail. The rest is just detail on this bird. All right, so I think, yeah, let's see. Now I can push the lead a little bit darker. Get this in here. Whoa. Let's switch pencils here. All right, let's go with black. There we go. Nice clean lines. And if you don't get clean lines, that's okay. It's a sketch. It's a sketch. And that's another thing, you know, some people say, oh, what's that supposed to be? Well, it's my sketch. It's a sketch. People are expecting drawings and they expect, you know, finished work because that's what they see. They don't understand what goes into it. They don't understand what goes into work, into artwork. So I'm pushing a little hard on my pencils tonight. We're going to green now. Here we go. And there's like these circle shapes at the end of these feathers. So there's kind of like, if you can see that circle shape and then just go around it, around. I didn't do the circle shape over here, but yeah, I can see that circle shape right about there. This one's a little bit higher, right about there. And then there's another one right about there. Seeing those circle shapes does help as well to get those tail feathers right in there. Right. As it comes down. There we go. There's my two tail feathers, this third one, and then this last one right in there. Really nice little character. Let's get that beak on there. Yeah, the struggle, the journey. You have your ups and downs. This one's a little more accurate. I feel it's becoming a little more accurate than my other drawings tonight, but it's okay. You're just shooting at it. Sometimes you need a little bit of warming up. And sometimes you hit it off, you're drawing really good. Like somebody I knew I talked about last week, their first drawing was really good, and then their second one wasn't, and they got discouraged. And like, no, it just happens. You got lucky in your first drawing. And you know, it's just there's quite a few artists in the Disney at the Disney studios. So the teachers there too, they say everybody has about 1,000 bad drawings inside them. You have to, you know, work at getting them out to get to the good ones. Yep. All right. Here we go. Let's get that neck. That neck is going to be right about there.
I didn't hear you say taper tails, and there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there are some tapered tails. They do taper. That's the thing. I can't.
You have to patent that really, because I mean, it's great.
Oh, I'm glad. You see it everywhere now, huh? Like, oh, there's a tapered tail. Copyrighted 2022. When do we start that? 2023. Right. There's these little lines, and all this is just design stuff. All this stuff is just detail. The big shapes here, let's see, that's detail. It usually goes last. Here, there's a football shape, or two circle shapes, really. This football shape is really two circles. If you can see the circle shapes, actually, if it was bigger circles, two circles together, they would kind of be like that. But let's see where the point is. One point up there, another point right here. That also helps when you're drawing this. Just go from one point to the other, one point to the other. There we go. There's that wing, that little wing, and all these other designs right in here. Then I guess the breast right in here has a really interesting design. It's double whammy. Yeah, and the rest is all just detail. I'm just trying to get that. I think seeing this as two circles or seeing the points, that really helps, and seeing the angle, that angle of that wing and how it fits in really helps as well. And then you see this parallel there. This looks like it almost could be patchwork or a quilt or something. Really interesting patterns on it.
But I don't think it's hand drawn though.
No, definitely this one definitely looks digital. Yeah, it does look digital. And that's another problem too. People see all this digital work and they expect their drawings to look like that. And that it happens. It comes with time. I mean, but you have to use actually the digital materials as well.
You know, Eladio, when I was drawing that man with his cat, and his wife was also posing for part of the session,
Yeah.
and there was so much distortion, the way they had the camera set up, that it was really beyond. I didn't even, you know, I just had to leave because the distortion was unbelievable.
Yeah, that happens. Oh, I didn't post the other picture. There, I'm just posting it now. Yeah, the distortion. I've seen, you know what, setups, especially with this new program. It's really interesting. We can actually have quite a few. If we had like a live model, we can actually put several cameras on at the same time. Or even there's another way of doing it too. With Zoom, you can actually have different cameras on different in different chat rooms, in different rooms. I can set up rooms. Let me see, under more, yeah, breakout rooms. I can set up a breakout room with a different camera in it. It would take some setting up, but that's also doable. So you'd be able to go to the different rooms. If I were to do a breakout room, like let me see, I can create several breakout rooms. Let me see, how many can I create? 10, 12, 13. Oh, 0 to 1 per room. I can create, I mean, we have 13 people, so I can create 13 rooms. And then you can see the rooms there, and I can open the rooms, and people can go into the rooms. Oops. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm going to close all those rooms. But you see, each room could be a different view of the a different view of the model. So you'd be able to go into the different rooms and get a different view. I mean, that's just an idea. It's just being able to, you know, think about solving a problem with the technology you have. All right, we're finished with the bird. Let's go
the monitor should have told them that there was this, because I'm sure I wasn't the only one that was seeing the distortion. You know what I mean? Everybody sees the same image, and it was the way it was just silly. It was just
Yeah, it happens. All right,
Well,
so
we were in a writing class where we had breakout rooms, for people to go in and share their whatever they wrote, and we had like a bunch of breakout. There were like, I think there must have been over 100 people in the session,
wow.
and so there were several breakout rooms.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but when I don't know if you could put it in the chat or something. I know because I get something sometimes like that. Can you move your picture up? And they put it in the chat, and sometimes I read it late, but it goes up. And so yeah, it's that communication. It's setting stuff up. I know I've been having some camera problems myself. All right, if I put a circle in there, you can see the circle for the body, kind of in there. You can see some of these angles. It's definitely a circle for the head, and the angle for the beak. The little birds back here. I don't know how much we're going to draw. I'll probably sketch these a little faster as we pick up some of the speed. Let's get into some of the angles. And here you can see this even kind of like almost even a triangle in there. If you were to see that and see the neck actually gets thinner as it comes down here. It looks like it gets thinner. There it is. You can see it get thinner there. And definitely the tail, this triangle tail, and this other part of that tail going out that way. And then the bodies, the angles of the legs. There we go. Angles of the feet, the angles of the beaks, angles of the legs. Sometimes even just seeing this little angle, people straighten it out. Notice the slight angle of it, and then this angle changes this way. It's not vertical, it's actually coming in. So let me put a vertical line right next to it so you can see it and compare it. There it is, that's vertical. So it's you can see now, because I put that, you can see it's like a letter K. It goes in and then it goes out. And these are just slight angle changes. So that should help there. And then this one is really close to vertical, but it does go out. Here you can see it goes out and then it goes out even more there. And one thing we can do is see the ratio. So actually the proportions. So here's the body. There's 1 and then 2. See the body here? That's where the knees are. Notice where the knees are. So the distance of the body is where the distance of the knees. And then if we go down that one more time, that's probably there too. So the whole thing is three bodies long plus the head on that side. And if we do that, we can see that the head is a little bit more than half the size of the body. And let's put this body back, that body circle right in there, that beak. All right, let's screenshot that and let's get jumping on this drawing. Screenshot. Oh, where's my chat? There it is. Here we go. Yeah, so breaking things down, and there's a little bit of a mirror image, which is really interesting. I'm not going to do it, but that depends on you, where you're at. If it's too easy, you're going to get bored. If it's too hard, you're going to give up. So you got to find your spot. You got to find your sweet spot. That's why we start off simple and then we build it up. Right, we're starting to get to a little more challenging, a little bit of a challenge with my drawings tonight, but it's all good. It's all good. We don't give up. Quitters don't win and winners don't quit. You just gotta keep the battle going. Even though we lose the battle, there's still a war. You want to play the long game. That's the thing. You want to play the long game. Some people expect, to get to, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? It takes that practice. You got to pay your dues to sing the blues. All right, so there's my circle.
I know that one, the Carnegie Hall. I know that one from somewhere.
Yeah, awesome. Is that Maria? I saw Maria sign up. She said she was going to be here. All right, so there's my body. Yeah, Carnegie Hall. Is that New York
If
City?
you were going to do the mirror image at the bottom, would you almost draw it backwards all the way up from the image you have at the top?
Yeah, I would do that. It looks like it's pretty much a mirror, and it's sometimes you get a little bit of distortion, but let me see. I'm going to check. I think it's a little bit shorter. Let me see.
It is.
No.
Definitely intriguing.
Yeah. It's actually
I don't know
pretty
if
much the same size. There's some distortion going on. I'm sorry?
Oh, I didn't know if I gave myself enough space, but next time I might try that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. And that's another exercise. That's a good exercise, trying to do things that are symmetrical or mirror images. All right, so I've got the size of my body. I know the knees are going to be right about there. I can actually use this to measure the head, the body, bring that down. That's where my knees are going to be at. And then another set like that. And that's where the bottom of my feet are going to be at, right? So our little snowman there is broken into three. I've got my triangle, my little triangle for the back tail feathers. I know that the back one does have a little bit more to it, but it was pretty symmetrical, one part. And then it had the other kind of like tail feather on top of that. But those angles look pretty good. And then we had the head. The head, let me see. She photographed the swan too. I submitted them to try and learn to do it. Oh, Stacy Bourne. Oh, nice. Okay, the swan. Yeah, the swan is a really nice picture too. That one's going to be next. Thank you for submitting that. Really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. So the body, let's see, it does come out a little bit more. So it's a little bit wider up here. I'm going to add a little bit to my circle. And then the head's a little bit above that. And again, we can see the size of the half. We know it's a little bit bigger than the half of the body, the circle of the head. So you can just put it right in. And if you need to make it bigger, we can make it bigger. Let's get this paper here. See, here's the body. And we can fold it in half if you need to. If you have trouble finding halves, there it is. That's the half. Pretty good half there. And then you see the head, and it's gonna be a little bit bigger than half the body. So that's all right there. It's about half. I can go a little bit bigger. I can add to it, like if it was clay, see? It was a piece of clay, I can add to that shape. And then we've got the angle. One thing to notice is the distance of the head to this body. Here's the center, and here's that. That would probably be a good angle to see that. And then the way it kind of swoops onto that head. This angle here, this neck. So I've got this circle here. This swoops up and attaches itself to that. Oh no, we've got the beak. There's a slight curve on it, really slight, but I wouldn't worry about it. What's more important is the angle, that angle there. Then that eye right in the middle. And here's one leg. And now we know the distance. We know the distance because thanks to our guidelines down here, one leg goes to there. And then one leg, it goes in and then it goes out. Just slightly, just a slight in and out. And this one goes out a lot more, that angle. And I can use actually the bottom where it lands, and I can go back up and see it. Yeah, this is right to almost the front of the face, right there. So that also helps. See that? It probably goes out a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty close. See, this is a lot more accurate than the simpler drawings I was doing. This is doing a little better here on this one. That's all good. You win some, you lose some. But the more you practice, the more you win. It really is that. I had a little bad start. That's okay. You just got to learn to take it and roll with it, Roll with it. And then when you try to do something for like a portrait and stuff like that, that's when it can get a little scary. But again, it's with practice. You build your comfort zone. You build that because it's something that's new. So you're not comfortable. It's like, what do I do? How do I solve this problem? And when all eyes are on you, that makes it a little bit harder too. All right, there's my beak. There's my eye. There's a little bit of an almond shape, but it's really small. Yeah, so the way I would do that is draw my circle and try to keep a highlight on it. Let me zoom in on that so you can see what I'm talking about. I drew a circle, and then I'm going to try to keep a highlight because it's a shiny eye. And there it is. And then once I have I can put a little bit of a almond shape, and it's just adding little triangles to the side one on this side, and that would probably be around 11 o'clock. And then over here on this other side, it's probably like around 5 o'clock or so on this side. It makes it a little bit of an almond shape. There's a white shape above it. I'm trying to get the designs. A little bit of a white shape above it. And then here, the back design here. It's back of the head. And then he's got like his little bandit underneath that eye coming up and across the forehead or the front of the face. I'll just put a nice little shade over it. And you can see, oh, we got the design of the bird right there. You can see that. That looks pretty good. That's it. And yeah, there's it's not a really sharp lines. I mean, you can get some of that texture. Oh, one of the questions, but that's topic, getting texture and doing hair and stuff like that. Yeah. That's the icing on the cake. What's important is the structure, right? Seeing the structure, seeing the proportions, how big something is compared to something else. Seeing this angle, this whole body has a slight angle to it, to that top part. See, there's my circle. I added that part. And then this whole body, add to that this wing. See, now I'm killing the symmetry, but it was symmetrical, but it just pulls out a little bit more. And there's a little bit of texture on that. And I'm just doing it really quick. Get the texture great. If not, it's okay. It comes with practice. That's just detail. And then there's one tail feather up here, right there. And then the other one there. Changing the shape so it's not so symmetrical, but it started off as symmetrical. You can see it's there. The symmetry is kind of there. Yeah, let's see, move it over. Yeah, the mirror image is intriguing. Yeah. She photographed the swan. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's get that body on here. Swoop down. And then this swoops up as well, but then there's added part for this leg here. It does kind of come on here onto the body. And all this, I would probably shade it right in there. So it looks like that's one piece. Because once you see the structure, what you're trying to do is hide the structure. Okay, so there's the structure. Now I don't want to, I can use that structure, see it. And then like most people, they don't see it. It's all hidden for all the detail and other stuff on top and everywhere in between. All right. All right, let me get the, I'm gonna zoom out and get those legs in there. You can see the angles. The angle does pull back a little bit. There's that thickness of that leg. Then it goes to a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a knee or whatever that is, joint. And then that angle going forward. Bang, bang. Yeah, when you're first learning, seeing these angles is a trip, and you got to use your pencil. See, okay, look at that angle, and then that angle, and or even put a straight up angle up and down. You can see, compare that, and see how much of an angle that is. Like this angle here, this one was tough. It almost looks like straight up and down, but it does come out slightly out as an angle. Try to get that thickness of that line, parallel lines. There it is, a little bit of a joint as well. Try not to exaggerate that too much, so I can see these. Like it looks like he has knee pads, but it doesn't. These are like storks, or I don't know what kind of birds these are.
Egrets.
Egrets. Thank you.
I think that's what they're called.
All right. Egrets.
I think. Don't take my word for it. I think that's the proper name.
Uh-huh. All right. So there's our bird, egret. We can look it up. Let's see, egret.
I saw a couple on the beach once, and I had to look up what those strange looking birds with those thin legs and long beaks were.
Yeah, I see. These birds are kind of white. Right. And the little chicks in the back. Let's draw the chicks. Let's draw the chicks. Now the chicks, I can see them as one big clump. I can see them as one big clump. See, like right in there, I can see this big clump. Then I can start actually breaking down that clump, right? I can see this is one big clump. Then I can see, okay, here's one head, the heads. There's one head there, and then another head right about there. And I can change the size, maybe a little bit, adjust it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. But there's the two heads, right? And then here's one body, which is like an oval shape. And then here's another body, another oval shape, like right up in there. See, right in there. See, this one's stooping a little bit more. Its head's a little bit lower. And if you get the little birds, great. If you don't, that's okay. I'm doing them kind of quickly, but you can see how I got it. I see the big shapes first, and then the medium-sized shapes, and then detail. Detail goes last. Don't let the detail detract you. There's a beak. There's another beak. The beak is on the ground, and the feet are on the ground at the same angle right there horizontally. And then compared to that foot, then I can actually scribble the shadows, or they're kind of like, I don't know, they are distorted. Here, this would kind of mirror backwards. Then I can actually mirror this backwards. See that? Mirror that backwards. I'm just sketching it in. It's got nice little distortions here and there. The water is kind of distorted. I can add like little lines, fake lines, depending on how realistic I want to get. Then you've got the body way down here. And that doesn't even show up on my screen. Let's do the little birds, the little chicks. Let's do the little chicks. I got them blocked in. I like that. There's a little bit of a feather, and they're not really clear. It's not really clear. It's not a really clear photo. So I can kind of scribble them in. I'm going to sketch them in. One wing, do the front bird first. He's got a little eye. Then he's got the design. They've got more spots and stuff, more texture and design on them than the parent. California great blue heron. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She did write it, but I would have to go to her Facebook page
Yeah.
and find
Well,
out. Yeah, but she says it's a California bird, and she photographed it in San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
This is a
That's
heron.
A heron. Yeah.
Oh, this bird's called the heron.
Yeah, I think so. Because I looked at egret.
Yeah.
Egret was really white.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know the herons are different kinds. There's some that are bigger, some are smaller. But I'm looking at the markings in the head. It looks like a blue heron. I'll put it in the meetup thing when I
Okay.
find out. Because
All right.
I really can't remember what she said, but it was a California, and I'm almost sure it's some type of heron.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's
In that case, I was mistaken. Thank you for the clarity.
well, egrets are herons too. A heron is a type of egret. So
Oh, nice.
That
We learned.
has to be the strangest compromise I've ever heard. That's interesting. Thank you.
All right. So I got one of my little chicks in there. You can see how they're kind of coming in. And I just blocked it in, seeing the big shapes first, and then all small shapes. And this is what makes it fun. They said, how do you keep motivated? Well, it's like a puzzle. You try to find the puzzles that suit you. You don't want to do like 1,000-piece puzzle. You want to find the smaller piece puzzles and then do the ones, and you'll see, oh, like, okay, this is too easy. Oh, okay, this is too hard, right? Try to find the puzzles that you
Sorry.
don't get bored with, and keep you motivated. There we go. There's this beak here, and keep you going. This other bird here. Let's see. Another little chick. Get the little designs. I'm not shooting for accuracy. I just little spots, and I'm just kind of doing little spots. All right. There we go. So questions. That's what I'm looking for. So when you join our class, yeah, feel free to ask those questions, and then I'll be highlighting those questions in the videos eventually, but that's what we're looking for. There's our birds. I think we're done. All right, we're ready for the swan. The swan's gonna be a little tougher. Let's see. I think the swan is a good one. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Let's jump into it. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is the egret, and then we have the heron. Let me see. Here. Oh wow. These are more of an adult. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's a whole different bird too. Not totally. All right. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're up here. Bird. Oh, there's subspecies and stuff. All right. Let's there we go. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's go with the swan. Now it's really small, so definitely have to blow this up. Ready? All right, let's see. Copy image address. Let's put it over here. Paste it. There we go. Now we can zoom in. Oh, there we go. Even bigger. There we go. Nice. Oh, look at that reflection too. Now that would be good fun to try to get. If we have more time, we'd spend again the whole period. I'm back at school. The whole couple hours just doing this, but we're gonna focus on what we can. So you can see here, there's the circle there, and it's a little bit more than half. Then the bottom half is I would probably it's a giant curve actually. This would be a giant piece of a bottom of we can almost draw it as a line, but it is kind of rounded. It is rounded here. This part of the bird. I mean, if it were to continue, you can almost have to sometimes use your imagination and see how rounded that is and how big that circle would be to be there. All right, let's get our other circles in there. That really helps. This one's stretched out. This one's stretched out. So if we had our circle, there it is, that one there. There's that circle. And here's another one too for that whole neck. Let's see, there it is, right in there, right in there. Notice that circle. That right in there, and it does pull out a little bit, but the head kind of fits in that. And then we've got these angles here, the angle of the head, that coming out this way, and then this coming out this way. All right, let's screenshot that. Well, actually, let's put one more line for these wings. The wings kind of coming out there. And this tail feather. All right, that's good. Let's screenshot that and jump on this one. All right, pardon, but we'll need to leave for the evening. I'm tired, need to be early tomorrow. Thank you for this session. We'll check out the website. Thank you. All right, Justin, have a good one. Thank you for joining us. All right, here we go. Yeah, the lessons aren't up yet, so hopefully. Oh, hey, yeah. You're welcome. Try to be respectful and try to interact. It's all good. All right, that's it. Alrighty. Okay, let's jump onto this one. Stop sharing. Let's jump on this one. This one looks nice. I really like that swan. Oh, we got a lot of birds tonight. A lot of birds tonight. Here we go. All right, jumping onto this bird. Swan. Little ugly duckling. She grew up to be a swan. Swan Lake. All right, let's start off. Okay, let me get my blue pencil. Give it sharpen a little bit. We'll start off with that big circle. The big circle. All right, there we go. Ready? It's that circle. So that circle, we'll use that circle for the body. And there's my circle. And it's past halfway. It does come about halfway. We do have about that much of that circle in there, and that totally gets our mass in there. And then we've got the circle of the whole head and neck. that whole head and neck circle. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at, see how this is already our proportions, right? How big this is, how much it overlaps. Notice how much it overlaps, probably overlaps a little bit less. Let me see, I'm trying to, let me download the picture. There it is. Yeah, it overlaps a little bit less. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. Now that I see it, I can see how much it overlaps. So I can bring this up a little bit more. But it's, I think I nailed the size. It's just the overlapping. I'm looking at the overlapping now. And I can see the distance between here, this distance between there. And seeing that this circle comes out a lot, a bit more than I had. There it is. I'm just trying to see the size of the shapes and almost abstractly, see this is an abstract. And get that accuracy. See how I just adjusted this much. So now we have this circle for the head. Circle for the head is going to be right about in here, right about that big. That's where the head is going to be. And then I can see the angles for the front of that bird. And then just how it curves onto the body. Like an S. Ooh, S for a swan. Ooh, that would be really nice. If I was doing a kid's book, I could totally make this into like a letter S and make this look like an S for the swan. It would be a kid's book. All right, let's see. Oh, let's get a copy of the original one in the chat. There it goes. All right, here we go. All right, 747 coming out of the sky, actually 750. Oh, there it is. All right, so I got it all blocked in. And that's pretty good. I'm happy with the way it kind of all fits. We've got the feather that's going to come in here. Oh, let's get those the wings. There's one wing coming up at this angle. And then down, and then we've got the tail feather as well as at this angle here, this shape in here. And I can see how it fits in here. This whole like triangle, that tail shape is going to be in there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and really focus on the face because it is the most important part. Once we get the face, then everything else kind of just will just fall into place. So let's get that face in there. Let's zoom in on that face. Ready? Let's zoom in. Oh, I'm so glad my camera's working again. It was kind of tough last week. Oh, the last 2 weeks it was a little tough. And something with it connecting, but I did download the latest drivers, the latest stuff for the camera. All right, I can see that circle shape. I can see this. I'm trying to see this as a different shape now, as all together. It kind of looks almost like an egg shape. And that's an egg kind of does pull out a little bit. Then you've got the beak. I can see this as one shape like this, like an egg shape that's kind of cut off. It's a little more stretched. Then you've got the nose. It kind of comes down into the feathers. And then it's about halfway. Actually, it's probably a little bit more than half, that whole beak. Right, so the beak coming in, out, and curved like that. There we go. And then there's that top part. Here we go. So this looks good. I can get the feel of this whole shape, that beak. And then there's the triangle part. There's like a triangle part. The triangle part. And the eye. That's where the eye is right here. The eye is right where that triangle kind of meets. Looks really abstract, really abstract. So let's get this going. I'm going to do the eye. The eye, the most important part right there, that's that circle. Try to get it centered. There is a highlight. It looks like it's straight on. I'll raise it a little bit just because I like it, because light usually comes from the top. Unless you have a flash. This might have been a flash on this bird, but there it is. We're going to add a little bit of a triangle to the back, a little bit of a triangle there, and then this front part actually starts on the other side of this eye, down here. Then it goes up here we go. There's that part, and all this is dark. All in here is dark. All that is dark. Get that beak. Little bill. Swan bought a new dress, and he said, "Put it on my bill." Oh no, it was lipstick. It was chapstick. The swan was trying to come up with a joke. The swan was getting sunburned, so I went to the store and got some chapstick, and then put it on my bill. I think, yeah, that's what the beak is called. All right, so this beak has a little bit of almost like a nostril design on it. There we go, putting that on there, right in there. Notice how big it is and how it fits. I can cut this in half and notice it's a little bit less than half. And there it is. And there's the head. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the head. I can, there's a little bit of shades and stuff. If you can see the shades and get them, great. You know, that's his value. And then, let's see. Keep going with that, his head. And bring it back. And then all this, there's a lot of texture in here too. I can erase or hide. See my light sketching in there? Where that neck is. So it is all in shade. There's shade, even though it's white, it's in shadow until you hit this wing here. All right, so there's the wing. Let's zoom out a little bit. We're done with the head. I think the head looks pretty good. If we had color, which I do, I would color it orange. Baton Rouge. Where's my orange at? Oh, where's my colored pencil at? Drop the whole box. Don't see it. Oh, it's all good. We'll just leave it. I had it earlier. It's all good. All right, let's get the zoom out and get that body. All right, so there's wing. I can see here. I already got that angle there for that wing. The way it comes out here. This is this wing here, and it actually goes under the tail feather, but it's got this wing shape. I'm trying to get that in there, and it's attached to the body. See, it's here. I kind of put a nice little loop here, and I feel this form. I feel that form. So here's that body, and then here's the wing, and you can probably say here's the elbow right up in there. And then here's the body coming onto that, the body, the body of water. And yeah, that looks pretty good. And here the tail feather. It looks like it's split. It looks like there's two tail feathers. Let's split it. Oh, it's lower. Oh yeah, because that's the other wing on this other side is behind this beak. Yeah, right in there. And this tail feather. And there's shadow of this tail feather. There we go. Fits right in there. And you've got this other wing coming out. And there's this gap right here. This is really important right here. Bring this wing up because it's not lined up. But here's the body, and then this wing is kind of like in the water right in there. That's the placement. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let me let's draw it in. There's that wing. And there's a lot of little detail, like little. I can see the feathers. If we had more time, I'd spend more time on it. And this is where you need to gauge how much time you have and how much detail you're going to add. There's these shadow shapes. These are shapes now, kind of show that wing. And even shading all this. This is, I guess, more advanced. So I'm just doing these shades in here to give it form. And then here as well, this tail feather. I'm going to add that tail feather there. And then underneath is where it's dark. And then all this area in here is dark. Add that tail feather. And like that. And then I'm just going to shade all this. I'm going to flatten it out. Actually, I'm getting rid of a lot of the detail. But this part of the tail is dark because of it's in the shadow. And then as I come this way, I'm going to lighten it up. I'm going to lighten it up because it's rounded. out. And you've got this other wing on this other side. And then if you wanted to get some of that water effects, you can kind of like, there we go, see, little ridges. There's a lot of little lines, reflection of that swan. I'm gonna add a little bit of shade on this side, just make it rounded again as it disappears into that tail. And then the other wing that's back here, let's delineate that. Let's really show that. There's the bottom of that bird head that attaches itself over here, comes along that side, and there's that wing. There's a wing back here. And then I'm going to shade all that. I'm going to shade this wing back here slightly. It's part of that wing that's back here. It comes down right in there. And there's our swan. Not too shabby. It's pretty good. These harder drawings are doing better. Those first drawings, I don't know what happened. Oh, we're just warming up. Yeah, these last ones are really good. There we go. That one, that one. The first ones, where'd they go? Put them, oh yeah, they're over here. These two. My cat. Oh, there we go. Some figure drawing. And my man. I don't think my man wasn't. All good. You win some, you lose some. Just got to keep the positive attitude. It's like, all right, it's all practice. It's all practice. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it. Yeah, it's all good. All right. There's more texture. If you want to look at it and try to capture that texture, try to put that in. Especially once you have like the basic foundation of values, then you can actually, if you wanted to get on top and start putting some texture in there. There's some texture here and there. Feathers, get the feel of those feathers, like right in there. All this detail. It makes it look like there's a lot of detail just by seeing it and trying to capture all this little detail, the feathers. Then all of a sudden it looks like, wow, look at all this work you put into it. But I'm just trying to get the feel of that, the texture. See that kind of gives it a whole other level of wow. All right, there's our bird. Wow, I had no idea that is how you do the head. Well, this is how I do it. Yeah. You got to see what works for you, really. You got to see what works for you. And seeing that head, and then yeah, the different forms in there, seeing the form in there. All right, all right. All right, all right. If you haven't signed up for he's speaking on Monday. What's his name? I've been seeing his advertising everywhere. I signed up for his class. All right, let's go to the next drawing. There we go. All right, all right. Oh, there it is. Our next drawing. Oh, very simple. I don't know if we'll skip it. This one, ooh, I like this one. This is going to be a challenge. That's a bit of a challenge. It's 8 o'clock. Ghost. And then we've got this little girl. This is more like for a figure drawing. We do figure drawing. They're definitely out. This is pretty funny. Demi uploaded this one. But it's small, so the detail's kind of hard to capture. It's good. This would be good for a quick sketch. What's interesting about this is this should flow a little bit more. I don't know. I think it should flow a little more. This foot looks like it's bent the wrong way. It really should like the hamstring should be here. It looks like it's the title's really funny though.
That's what I thought. I mean, I saw it because of the title and I started laughing hysterically. And then I started looking at the legs and hair and I was like, and I tried to do the pose myself. I'm thinking it's uncomfortable and I don't think I look that way.
No. It's slightly.
It doesn't feel like kind of real. I mean, that's what I thought.
No. This leg is off. Actually, I can sketch it out really quick. Then we got this one. We can maybe end the night with that one. That one's pretty neat. All right, so let's do, we got a couple drawings of that. We can do these really quick. I can do them pretty quick. So if you can stay, and do them. There's a lot to this one. There's a lot to this one. And then there's this one. This is not that, and the proportions aren't correct. So we're going to probably skip this one. Appreciate that. But yeah,
I gave you 2 April showers pictures.
yeah, we're gonna do this one. April showers. All right, let's break this one down, and this is gonna be fun. I like this one. This one has a lot of character to it, and really good forms. So let's do this one. I'll definitely start off with the head shape. There's that circle right there. Something in the chat. Oh, you're welcome. All right, thank you for joining us. Again, we're going to be out next week. We'll be out. I'll shoot some pictures, put them in the in our Sketchbook Hero Warrior Facebook group. All right, so there's a lot happening in this head. I mean, it's the shape is you know, there, but it does pull in and it does pull out on this side. So the head, the forehead, you see the bump on the forehead, and then it pulls in, right? But notice the whole mass. You want to see this big shape, the mass, and then see the medium, how it kind of pulls in right there. So all right, Pam, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're still going to go here for another hour and try to see what we got. Let's see. Sketchbook Warriors. Yeah, you can see that this forehead kind of bumped in, and then the nose bumps out right there, bump at that angle. You got the ear shape in there. If we break this in half, let's break that into parts. Oh, let's stop this madness. Let's go here. Copy the image address. Let's go over here and do it here and go big. Go big or go home. Sometimes I forget to go big. Makes it easier. I don't know what this advanced options is. Let's get it out. Oh, we can close it. There we go. There we go. Now that's better. All right. Clarity. Clarity is key. Yeah, sometimes I tell my students too. It's like when they do their animations, they do their animations like they're I call them stadium views. Like they're at the stadium, top of the stadium, watching the whole play go down, but they have to be on the field. They have to do the close-ups. They have to change the size. That's I'm not following my own advice. There we go. You can see how this pulls out, and this pulls in. The nose pulls out a little bit, but it's in that shape. It's in that shape. And then we can use that shape. You can see that shape in here, how it relates to the body. The body's a lot bigger, but it's a triangular shape. So put that there. You can actually relate that to, oh, here we go. 1, 2, less than 2. So the head size compared to the body, it's less than 2. 1, 2. You can see that there. This compared to the bird is smaller than his head. Looking at these relationships, we're looking at the relationships, and this is our unit, the head. Get a head. There it is. And then you can see the umbrella. The umbrella is not symmetrical. It actually pulls in on this side. So it's kind of interesting choice. It probably did that to, yeah, you can see it fit right there. And the center is right there. Hey, that's not too bad, actually. Huh. I feel like it's pulled in a little bit. But you can see there, pulls out, pulls in. Yeah, it does pull in slightly, not as much as I thought. And then you can see that circle, and it goes down to here, that circle. Let's screenshot that, and let's jump on this one. All right, let's do this one. All right, yeah, so cute. Love it, Ellen. Good choice. All right, screenshot. Yeah, this is cute. April showers. Bring May flowers. The Mayflower. Ah. All right, here we go. Let's one more time. Stop sharing. And here we go. Let's oh, where's my chat? All right, here we go. Here it is without the guidelines. There we go. And now it's in the chat. All right, let's get this bear started. Cute bear. I barely bear it. All right, so we got the circle head. Let's see, take our time. Actually, what would be good is to get the big circle, that big circle of the umbrella. because that kind of, that really, once we get that umbrella, the body's less than that. So this is really the bigger shape, that where the umbrella is, because I already have that as a guide. Then I can see it like where the half of that umbrella is where the head is. That head size should be right about there. And it's about a fourth of the way. It's about a fourth of the way. So if we get that, break it into fourths, that's more or less, this will get you your proportions, how big things are going to be. So we have our big circle, which really has the same height, same width. And then you've got this other circle that's about a fourth of the size, that size. And then we got the body, which it kind of just comes out at an angle from the head and an angle down from here. And it fits right about there. Oh, let's zoom out. Is that, am I zoomed out all the way? Somehow I feel like I'm. All right, Pearl, you're, oh yes, thank you. I will have a great trip. We'll see, the weather looks good. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of showers, but other than that, the weather looks pretty good. It's going to be in the 60s, a little bit of 70s, and some showers. It's supposed to be 80 in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. And then Sunday is going to be some showers. And then it's just going to be cooling down after that. So we're not going to get any 80s, which is, I like it better in the 70s. It's going to be a little bit.
Washington, oh, sorry. Washington, D.C. has horrible humidity with its heat, so it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I looked at best time to go. They said spring and fall. So we're springing over right now.
Watch out for all the criminals.
Yeah, that's what I hear. The scams.
You got the regular criminals and the ones that sit in Congress.
That's right. We're gonna go to the Capitol. Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't even get me started. And plus, this is not a political thing, but yeah, I don't know. What is our world coming to is the thing. If we can all just agree upon things, that would be awesome. If we all could agree and even agree to disagree, but agree, what do we agree upon? And then work on that. Work on that. All right, I digress. Let's focus on our drawing. All right, so the boots are going to be about in there. I already have everything kind of blocked in. I can see this kind of like a circle shape in there. I know it's bigger than the head. I can see it coming off and growing out, these angles. And the ratio in here, you see it's the same height, same width. If I were to put a circle in there, I can kind of see it and how it kind of flows and kind of how it goes. And these are the big shapes. These are the abstract shapes that I see to get it going, get it going. Yep, that's it. We got the circle for the umbrella, about a fourth the size for the head, and then bigger for the body. And then the duck down here, its feet, two parts, the head and the body right about there, and then the hand circle right about there. All right, let's do this. The hat kind of cuts in here at that angle, then right at the top of that circle as well as the top of that hat. But yeah, the top of that hat is on top of that circle right there. Notice that angle. These two lines are parallel, really close to parallel. And it looks like a boat. It's interesting, this boat part of the hat kind of sticks out right there. Don't let all this has a lot of detail. And this is where, you know, oh my God, it looks so hard, but you want to see beyond that. You want to see beyond meat. You want to see beyond all the details. You want to see these shapes. And it looks like my shape, actually, it looks like I'm looking at the ratio of it. It should probably be a little bit thinner. I can bring it in slightly. The height compared to the width, it looks thin. Should be a little bit not as wide, not as long. What am I saying? So bring that in just a little bit. Well, it's around there. I don't know, feels good. And then the top part goes bigger right in there. And then the important part, the bear head. Here's the forehead sticking out, and then it comes in, it pushes in. Right, the forehead is the apex, or the part that sticks out the most, and then it comes in, and then the nose sticks out right at that angle, and it's attached right in there. It attaches, kind of comes around that head, but actually it does pull out here too. It does pull out. So from the circle, it does pull out a little bit. And here we go. A little bit of a cheek in there. There it is. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me zoom in so you can see what it looks like. Look at that shape. That's a double zoom. Let's see. Yep. The nose does bump out a little bit. The nose does bump out a little bit, but pretty much that's it. Let's get that ear shape. That ear shape, a little bit of overlapping. There's an ear shape right in here, right in there. So you're sketching it in, right in there, and then the eye at an angle. This eye, and if you notice that angle of that eye, and that's it. That's the eye. Really simple eye. Let's get that forehead right in there. This comes out, and it almost kind of comes down like this, and the nose kind of bumps out. The nose kind of bumps out right there. There's some highlight on the top because it's shiny. Underneath it's dark. Cute little nose, and I think it has like little dots on it. Here's some of the detail. But I'm just trying to get that. Then there's an eyebrow. Get that eyebrow, and then the hair. Whoa, where's my cough button? There it is. A little bit of hair, and then a little bit of hair over here. And then hair as it comes around. There, as it goes around. That's it. And then the inside of the ear. Inside of the ear. It's all dark. And then it opens up. It actually opens up. It's dark. It's got a nice sharp edge on the top side, and then on the inside kind of blends out. There's a little bit of a blend to it. I kind of did my own blend, but that's there. And then on top of that, more texture and stuff. You can always do that last. But yeah, that looks good. If you're happy with the head, then everything else just falls into place. That head is like the important part. And, that looks good. I like it. I like it. So here's the hat. Let me just put everything in now. That hat in there. Get the lines, all this detail stuff. You don't have to do it exact. What's important is the shape. All this stuff, all this detail is just the icing on the cake. Just throw it in there. You know the important parts. The important part is getting that form, trying to nail that. Then the hat goes bigger than the head would be in there. It's like a little button at the top. And then a little split. And then detail like little hatch, little stitching with a little dot. All these dots because of the rain. Now I can see how it goes around here. So it goes around there. That part of the umbrella, and then this part of the umbrella, this big out to there, from here to there. Notice these points right here. These are the points I want you to notice where it goes to, where it starts and stops. And then you just go from there to there to there. And then over here is the other one to there. Bam. And it's coming in. Oops, maybe not. If I zoom out, then you'll see what I'm talking about. These points, I'm doing these points, and then I'm doing that to that. Then I can see up here the way it curves up on top of that. See, but seeing this big circle really gives me that shape of that umbrella, even though it kind of pulls out and then pulls down right there. It's not that doesn't really go exactly on there, but it's you don't want it to be mechanical too anyways. It kind of pulls out, then it comes in. I'll probably straighten it out a lot more. Little points. This side, two little lines. Is it windy outside? It's a plane going by.
It's pouring down rain right here, but it's not windy.
Oh, wow. Up north,
Oregon coast, what can I say? We do rain right.
Oh man, this year we had never gotten so much. I haven't gotten this much rain in years. Definitely not this millennia. All right, I put all my little detail in. I'm getting my little spike of the umbrella at the top. I think I made it a little more pointy than it is. That's okay. It kind of goes in here. I might be, yeah, there's a little bit of overlap. Yeah, right in there. That's where it goes. Try to get it to fit in there. If you need to do it light first, get that handle, get a handle of the handle, and then we'll put the hand on there. Put the hand on the handle. Gosh, it's like a tongue twister. Now I already have it like an oval shape, and I'm looking at it now because I just saw the oval shape and I did it. But that's it. That's actually pretty nailed it. The hand goes in front. This is all just one piece, and then the fur on the other side would be kind of like not fingers, but it's the inside would be kind of like fingers or the paw. And then the outside is smoother. It's rounder because that's the, ooh, and there's the handle. Where's the nose? Right there. I think I'm doing it too close to the nose. It should be out a little bit more. There's the handle. And then there's the, I can see, bring it out a little bit. This is the stem. What is the umbrella stem? I'm sure there's technical words for everything. One of my favorite movies, or I don't know, it's just this scene from, what's her name? She was deaf and blind and really had a tough go at it.
Helen Keller?
Helen Keller, yeah, Helen Keller. So yeah, Helen Keller, there's a scene in the, I don't know if it was a movie or the play or something.
The
when
Miracle
she,
Worker?
yeah, the Miracle Worker. When she realized everything had a name, and she kind of like was surprised, like, water, this is water. Oh, what's this? What's this? And then once she had that click, you know, that brain, that she just wanted to know what everything was called. What's this? What's that? I'm like, wow, everything has a name. Just that realization of that is wild. And yeah, it's really cool. Like here, the umbrella, I'm sure all the parts have names, like this, the handle, the switch, the whatever, to the layman. All right, there's the handle, this little hook. I'm sure everything has a name to it, but we don't need to know all that detail stuff unless you're becoming an expert and want to know and you're curious. And guess what? Ignorance is a choice. If you want to know, you can look it up. We can look it up. Parts of an umbrella, I'm sure it's online somewhere. All the parts for an umbrella. All right, here's the collar. I'm just adding all those little parts and see how it goes out and in and seeing how it fits. I'm not giving a lot of detail. I'm just doing it. I'm not describing it. So hopefully you're getting it. If not, I apologize. See the arm here? You can see this arm. See, I can see this arm as a shape. A little bit of a curve where that elbow is as it curves around the body. See, I'm doing it light. And here I can do this light as well, the front. And there's 3 buttons. I can see there's 3 buttons there. Those curves. Really nice form. This is a really nice drawing. Good choice, good choice. It's clear. I'm going to make this a little wider. So it's widening it up. Up and zoom out. Probably wrote it in that newspaper he created. Wrote what? I don't know. No. All right, here we go. And then the boots. Probably bring this foot back. All right, there it is. Bring this foot back.
Oh, she thought Mark Twain said something when I was saying about the criminals in Congress.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like something Mark Twain would probably say. Yeah.
Will Rogers said a lot of things about Congress too.
Yeah. He's another character with great quotes.
Yeah, that's true. You're right too. Will
Yeah.
Rogers, yeah.
Yeah. Eleanor Roosevelt surprisingly has some great quotes herself. I love some of her quotes. Somebody should look that up and post it. Post an Eleanor Roosevelt quote. Love her quotes. I love quotes in general, but yeah, she has some great ones. All right, I can see where the feet are going to go. Now it's just breaking it into parts now. See, this is the area. See the big parts first, and then you can see how it breaks into smaller parts. Like here, you can see that this boot in the front is bigger and this one's smaller. You can see I can adjust this line back and forth, but I think it's right about there is good. And then it's the part of the boots, the circle part. There's almost like a half a circle, a part of the boot. Because probably can bring this out more, but see, it's like an oval shape. There's one, and then this another one sticks out right about there. It should stick out right about there. See, that's the boots. If the boot fits, so then here we go. There it is. And then it does go out slightly. It does go out. That heel goes out, curves out a little bit, and then there's a sole, or that bottom part, a bit of a sole there, a bit of a curve. This one's a little bit higher. This is slightly higher. This is placement. How artists create space. A little bit higher. Got to get those lessons out. The lessons are coming. The lessons. The lessons. You can go at your own pace. And it's a lot of stuff we do already and talk about, but it's going to kind of be in a lesson format saying, okay, this is what you need to know and study and focus on. And you focus on it till you get it. And then you go to the next focus. Because if you try to do everything, you're gonna miss stuff. Like here, I think this should be up a little bit higher. You will miss stuff. That's good. I got my 3. I can bring this up a little higher as well. Yeah, it's looking cute. Yeah, this drawing is. It's got a little bit of a deltoid. There's a deltoid, a little bit of deltoid right there. Muscle, and it goes in and out. See, like right there. Oh, slightly, I'm exaggerating, but that's it. There. See, makes it a little more real, a little more anatomically interesting. All these, there's a lot of little detail with the water droplets. You can put them in afterwards. I'm putting them in now, but you know, you can see all this stuff makes the drawing cute. No wonder you're getting all that rain up there, up north. No more rain. I think we're done with rain here in sunny Southern California. Not gonna get rain for a while, I don't think. All right, there's another set of buttons over here at the edge of this coat. There it is. I think the bear's done. The bear is done. And the duck, let's get that little duck in there. Everything is changing in America. People are taking the comedians seriously and the politicians are a joke. Will Rogers. Find Eleanor. Alan, find Ellen. Eleanor. I'll find one. Here, let me do one. I'll do one. Let's see.
I'm working on it. I just
Oh,
had
yeah.
to do the.
Well, thank you, Ellen, for that. That is such a perfect quote. You know, this has started me down the rabbit hole. That's why I love coming to this class, Eladio.
Oh, yeah.
The Ellen, the Eladio, and all the interaction.
Will
Yeah, I
Rogers
know.
have
We're
another
building a
good
little
one?
community here.
Everything is funny as long as it's happening to someone else.
Isn't it? Yeah, I know. And what's his name? Oh gosh, his son did the voice for Finding Nemo and Finding Nemo, not Nemo himself, but and he did the producers. What's his name? Anyways, he had a saying. Funny is, oh no, if I break a nail, it's a tragedy, and if you fall down and die, that's comedy. If somebody else falls down, yeah, I don't know, this is what it says. He said something like that. I don't know. That's pretty funny. I mean, it's all relative. When it happens to somebody else, it's like, yeah, haha. But no, when it happens to you, it's a tragedy, even if it's just like you break a nail or something small. It's we're so egocentric. Many people, not everybody, but it's important to kind of have. We've been talking about empathy. Empathy. It's one of the words. All right, I'm just drawing the duck. I'm not explaining it, but you see me just putting it on there. I can see the parts and putting the parts together. That's, oh yeah, zoomed in. Gene Wilder. Yeah, he's funny. Gene Wilder. Love him in the chocolate, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's the nose. The top part is straight. The bottom is rounded. And like that, because I've drawn beaks before. This is a little unclear, but I'm just going to just do it the way I think it should be. Little hairs at the top. The eye, simple eye, right about there. The shape of the head, and then bring that back. A little bit of a tuft on the front of that neck, the back of the head. He's got a flower, little flower. Going up, get that center of that flower, and then all the petals around it. I don't know, let me see, get the shape of the first. I don't know, my proportions are off. I think it should be way lower. I'm looking at it now. I mean, the flower should be like right in here. I'm looking at it. Oh, well, it's okay. Something threw me off. It's all good. It'll look good. Nobody will know. Unless you compare to despair. Say, oh, it's not exactly the same. Well, it's okay. It's all right. It's all good. Nobody will know except us. You're in on it. Perfection is the enemy of good. That's a good quote. Perfection is the enemy of good, because you want it perfect and don't even get it good. Because you're worrying about it being perfect. Just get it to be good. Just do the best you can. There it is. There's our bird. To be more accurate, I just gave Mel Brooks credit for the tragedy comedy quote. Yeah, it is Mel Brooks though. Mel Brooks is the one that said, if I break a nail. Oh, look, oh, there's a bunch. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Ooh. Great minds discuss ideas. Oh, that's one of my favorites. That I love it. Wow. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. Yeah. Friendship with oneself is all important because without it, one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt. Thank you, Ellen. All right. Love it. Love it.
She had those were more serious. She had a funny one, but it was a little naughty.
Oh yeah, she's quite a character. I would have loved to have met her. I gotta find videos of her, see what she was like. Yeah, yep. I'm gonna put some happy faces too and put hearts. Let's put some hearts. I don't usually put oh, where's my heart? Reactions. There we go. No hearts. All right. Nice drawing. We're here. We're down to the last half hour. Let's see what we got next. All right. Let's pick up the pace. Let's go to share my screen. Here we go. Let's see what's next. What's next on the drawing board? On the drawing board. What's on the drawing board? Ooh, Gru. I can probably draw this one pretty quick. Oh, it's really
Baby
important.
Groot.
Huh?
It's Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. Yeah, Groot.
Yeah, Gru was on Despicable Me.
That's right. Groot. Yeah, it's a 3/4 view, which makes it a little more difficult. And really, the artist really understands form. So they really nailed the placement of everything. That's going to be hard if you're new, but the form, even though they made it look simple. And that one, I think we're going to skip that one tonight. I think this one, I don't know, we can probably try drawing them really fast. We got a half an hour, so we only got a half an hour. These are our drawings. I like this one.
Pick which one you like best.
Yes. Well, let's see if we can do them really quickly. I'm going to just draw them out. I'm just going to draw them out. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to draw them out really quickly. I'll sketch them out without blocking them in. You can see them there. And then get to that one. We'll see. That we'll do it like a warm up. I'll draw them as quickly as I can. So we'll start with Groot, and then we'll go. We'll just go with it. All right. Without explaining, let's see. Here we go. See if you can catch up. Catch up. Family tomatoes. We're walking. Oh yeah, no, don't do that. All right. So here's the circle. Here's the head of Groot, and then you've got a slight angle. I'm gonna just draw really quickly, just to sketch it out, just for fun. And then see what I see. The top of the head, kind of like going in there. There's a lot of detail, but see, I kind of see all that as one shape. The eyes, see, there's a 3/4 view. So this would be the center of the face. And then here's one eye on that side, and then the other eye on this side. I would probably say right about there, about that big. I'm trying to see the distance between these two. Looks like this one, the right eye is probably slightly lower, slightly. If I were to, let me see. And it is. And it's a little bigger too. It's a little, yeah, it's slightly lower. It's like, this one's a little bit higher. The one on the left is a little bit higher. This is a little bit lower and a little bit bigger. Slightly, really slight stuff. Really, I mean, take some observing. You got to almost have to look at it on your own to see that. And I got this too close, but I can bring this out. And see, once I got my eyes in, and then I got the mouth in, that's it right there. That's it. Once I got the distance and the size, because there's about an eye space in between. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good for my proportions. And then everything else, I think will just fall into place. I think everything else will just fall into place. Right in there, right in there. How big this is, the spacing around it. Yeah, that's it. Now I can see that there's a big chunk right in here. There's one chunk, and then there's another chunk. See, I'm seeing now I'm bringing it into medium-sized shapes. One is a big shape, and now I'm bringing it down to medium-sized shapes. There's the medium. These are the chunks right in there. That's that big chunk. And then there's another chunk right here. There's a triangular chunk right there. And then another chunk in there. Now I can go back and see smaller detail, right? Because we're going from big to small. And this really helps. So now I can see the smaller detail that goes in there. And all the little pieces that are kind of like in here. A little bit of a triangle in there coming in. And then that right in there. And then this side. Big chunk right in there, and then in there and there. And I'm just drawing it really quickly. Groot. Yeah, see, I'm just going in there. And just see, I just put it in really quick without and that's what I used. I went from general to specific, and you should be able to practice going back and forth. It's a little hard at first, but you know, being able to see big shapes, small shapes, and then go back and forth with that. Oh, here we go. Oh, I did a little bit, choked off the neck. I think I'm going too big too. It should probably be a little bit less. Yeah. Somewhere in there. It's all good. I just fixed it. So one arm right here, sketch it right there. One arm a little straighter. New message. I am Groot. I am Groot. And see how far the hand goes. See, I can sketch it in, just sketch it in lightly. There it is. And oh, here's some form. See, look at that. Boom. This is just practice drawing these ovals. Gotta practice drawing those ovals. See how big it is, and then just get it in there. Get it in there into the cup, the little planter. It's pretty square, same height, same width. I'm noticing my ratio really close, probably a little bit longer than it is, but it's almost square. If you count the top part, there it is, and it goes into that. And then it winds down. It's got a little bit of the pelvis, and the belly, and the pelvis, arm. There it is. All right, let's get the detail. All right, let's get the eyes. I'm going to go in the eyes. There's a lot of things happening with the eyes. Even they're just round right in here. They're round, but let's zoom in. There's a lot going on. There's the highlight right up in this area. There's a highlight. There's the highlight. Then you got the pupil, the dark part, the pupil. That's the pupil inside right there. That's it would continue like a circle like that, but you only see this bottom half, but you should see as an artist the structure, which is that whole circle. And then the rest just kind of goes out because that's the iris. This bottom part is the iris, and this is thicker, making it a little bit thicker. And then the iris, this is the colored part of the eye. That's the colored part of the eye. Now I'm going to get everything dark. So I got the pupil, darkening that pupil up and darkening up everything around it because that pupil goes into like a shadow, or I don't know what that is, but that dark area, kind of like that. There's one big eye, one big round eye. There's the eye. All right, let's do the same with the other eye. It is a little bit bigger, a little bit lower, just slightly lower. And it's not a perfect circle. There's little bumps in it. I mean, it's probably a little flat on that side, a little bit straighter on the side. Here we go. I think the mosquitoes are coming. I think the small ones come out first now. All right, here we go. Let's get that highlight first. I always try to get the highlights. Oh, yeah, I think I saw one. Mosquito, where are you at? Stay away. Shh. All right, here's my highlights. Right about there. In the top quarter, if I break it into fourths. And then you got the pupil, the dark part of that eye, and that would be round like that. Notice how big it is, how it overlaps. And then all this is dark. And so that's the bottom part, and then it goes up around, around. Try not to. And all this is dark up here. Oh, it's dark, kind of like the other eye. There's the top half. And then the bottom half, again, it is a thick line. I mean, it's not just a line, there's a thickness to this. So notice the thickness to it. So I'm making it a little bit thicker. There it is. And then the roundedness of that right there, roundedness right in there. And then just the shade of the iris, just shade it in slightly. There it is. Nice little shade. Probably goes darker, but you get the idea. That's it. And then the little, not wrinkles, they're the wood grain. That's a little wood grain here and there. Yeah, it needs to, I went a little too far right there. See, that's better right there, that line. I am Groot. Baby Groot. This is baby Groot. What's really neat is the way the kind of the wrinkles, the way it kind of twists. So I'm trying to get those twists in there. The twist. Come on, baby Groot. Let's do the twist. Come on, baby. There it is. And then I want to erase that. Where's my eraser? No erasers. Band erasers. Oh, here's one. Oh, it's still in the package. I haven't used an eraser. Oh, there's an eraser. So I haven't used an eraser here in a while. Doesn't completely erase. But that's all good. There we go. The arms kind of go over that part. And then the fingers, I don't know. Let's say they're fingers that really just scribble them in. Then the twisting part of that. A little bit darker on the outside, a little bit thicker on the outside. The lines are. This line is definitely thicker. You can see the way this is thicker as it comes around. A bit of a belly. There's a little bit of, yeah. It does come out. Here we go. There's the back part. Oops. Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. Rounded. Get this. Try to get a little bit of a point. There's a little bit of a point there. I mean, this is, if you were to see it through, there's another oval in there. If it was made of glass, a little bit of shade on one side, give it a little bit of three-dimensionality. There we go. All right, looks good. I think that's good. The quality of mercy is not strained if it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice the blessed. It is blessed him that gives and him that takes. William Shakespeare.
I was a little concerned about myself for knowing about Groot and Gru, so I thought I'd throw in something a little classier, like my favorite Shakespeare quote.
Oh, no need to worry. We appreciate it all. I don't know. We don't try not to judge. It's not. There's a speaking of Shakespeare. There's a Shakespeare quote that goes along with what you just experiencing. There's no such thing as good or bad. It's thinking that makes it so. So yeah, no, it's all
Yeah,
good.
Yes, but it's not necessarily what you're thinking. It may be what the police are thinking is good or bad.
Well, it's what they're thinking, right? But it's the thinking. It's the thinking. There's no such thing as good or bad. Things are. I mean, I don't know. If you take things to extreme, yeah, things are. It's not good or bad. They just are. It's thinking that makes them bad. It's judging that makes it bad. So if we don't judge everything, it's all good. I mean, it can hurt us. It can be. I mean, we personally think it's bad because it's hurting us, or it's causing problems to others, breaking the law. But yeah. It's how we judge. It's how we think.
So that student of yours who taught you, it's all good. Do you know how he turned out in life?
I don't know, really. I don't even remember his name because he wouldn't come to class much. It was so long ago. It was back in the 90s when I first started teaching.
It would be interesting to see how that philosophy got it dealt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's all good is all good too. But you got to also put in effort, it's whatever you get is what you get. And, you got to be accepting. I think there's an accepting thing where you accept what you get, but you also have to take ownership, take ownership. Don't just accept, all right, oh, well, man, there's that Chinese proverb, is it good or bad? He found some horses. And his son, oh, is it good? Everybody's like, oh, no. And then his son gets on a horse and he breaks his leg and goes, oh, no, that's bad. And he goes, no, it is what it is. And then the king's men came looking for people to take to a war, but they didn't take his son. Oh, isn't it good that they didn't take your son because he had a broken leg? Things are, just the way we look at them. Is it good or bad? I don't know. It's a proverb or something. All right, let's get going. We got 15 minutes to go. Let's do the ghost real quick. The ghost is kind of triangular. I'll do the ghost in here. I'm just gonna as the arms kind of, yeah, because you have the head shape, and then it kind of comes down, and then the arms swoop out a little bit. The arms swoop out and then come down, and it's an interesting ghost. It's almost like a bean shape. I don't know. Getting those eyes up in here. Nice little break. Well, we draw it really quickly. How it all fits. Watch my spacing. There's the ghost. The ghost of Christmas. And then the sheet, the way it folds, this is really neat right there. This folds over right in there. There's that oval shape. You see, that's an oval shape right there. That's part of an oval shape as it swoops over. And, yeah, notice. Wow, that was quick. Yeah. There we go. It swoops over. So line in there. Ghost. One of my favorite ghosts. Actually, well, they have E.T. with they had E.T. dressed as a ghost, and he sees what is it, the alien from Star Wars. He sees why am I blanking out on his name? Yoda. He sees Yoda, and he just starts going after Yoda because it looked like him somewhat. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next one. That was quick. And speaking of Yoda, We gotta fill our quota for Yoda. So Yoda's got a circle head, but it's cut off right in there. It's cut off about that much. You've got one ear coming out straight right about there. Probably a little bit more. Just try to cut it in there. And then this one at an angle. Not doing good with my spacing. And then here's the arm. Here's another hand right in there. Yoda right in there. The nose. Alrighty. Oh man. It's not gonna. Whatever. It's all good. We got one eye right here. And then another eye over here.
I'm glad this is recorded. I got a whole bunch of half-finished drawings.
I'm going pretty quick. But it's good. It's better to have half-finished drawings than no drawings at all. It's all just the practice. You don't worry about it. It's just sketches. Because that happens, actually. You're drawing something and then it leaves or it goes. And I'm drawing these really quickly. I'm just drawing this how I kind of like to sketch it in.
I just blinked and then there was a ghost on your screen.
Yeah, I'm going pretty quick. Just drawing it out. And here's Yoda. Yoda's little hands in here. Yoda hand. The ears, Yoda ears. Gotta attach them so that it looks like Yoda. You gotta attach that ear. Yeah, these are like a kind of like an outline drawing. It's almost like a book, coloring book drawing. There it is. There's Yoda. All right, here we go. Let's finish this up. Oh, that little girl, the little girl dancing. I'll just sketch her out real quick as well. Yeah, see, this is interesting. This is gonna be interesting because here I'm gonna just do a quick sketch. Here's her head. I'm trying to get that angle of that head and the ratios of it, and then I can see the shoulders. And this is what's interesting. This there's her torso, and then her waist, and then she's got this bean kind of like shape. There's this bean shape, right, with the torso and the pelvis. But the dress or that little skirt kind of goes over it. But this kind of attaches to the leg. And here, I don't know, with the drawing itself, the illustration, this doesn't line up. For some reason, it kind of cuts in, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. What the big deal is this other leg, which should kind of like, I don't know, goes out this way. And then and I think it tilts a little too much, but I would probably straighten it out slightly. It definitely looks like it's twisted a little too much. But, it's all good. There we go. There's a foot. Yeah, I'm going really fast. Yeah, cool. Yeah, see that? That's then you can put the dress or that little tutu. My daughter was ballet for a little bit. She had her tutu, but she tore her tutu in two. See the arms? You can see the arms is one shape. See the arms is one shape. That kind of helps. And then you just start breaking it down into the smaller shapes. And that's it. But I would probably put maybe a hamstring or something in here because it's kind of like facing away. There's this foot's twisted. So that's slight twist. And if you put that hamstring in there, I think that would help. But yeah, I don't know. That's really quick. All right, this is where we're going to spend the time on this one. All right, so let me we're gonna have to go to my, it's 8:50, it's gonna be 9. Shoot. Copy image address. Let's go up here. Paste that. All right. Ooh, nice and big. Oh, look at that. All right, let me share my screen. Bam, there it is. All right. Oof. Yeah, this is a sketch, but you can see the features and stuff are really dark. This one's definitely pretty challenging. This one's really challenging, really end the night with this one. Let's see what we can do. Let's break it as much apart as we can. Yeah, because there's the hair really throws it off. But if you could see the yeah, there, the circle right in there. Yeah, there's that circle, and that helps with the placement of that ear, and then the all this other stuff. Let's see. Let's get some lines in here. There's this jawline here, and then this jawline there, right in there, and look at the tip of the nose. She's also got this other line, a little bit of a, not quite a 3/4 view. It's not a total profile. It's not a 3/4 view either. It's a little bit challenging. The forehead coming out. You can see, actually, that's pretty good right there because you can see how it comes out at that angle, but there's a curve to it. And then this thing too comes out at that angle. There's a slight curve to it, and the nose comes out. And a slight curve as well at that angle. But notice that's the angle of it. And then here, the hair at that angle. And even this neck, this is like the big angle, but then you can see it broken down into smaller angles, right? This is the general direction, the general direction of this angle here as well. That neck. Looks like it's going from thicker to thinner, like it's wider up there. It usually goes the other way. Let's see. Oh, it's because of, no, I guess it just comes in. It's just could be the artist. It is a sketch, so. Could be stylized. All right, let's do this. Let's screenshot it and get it going. This is a challenge here. This, I don't know who did this, but here we go. Where's my chat? There we go.
That's another copy of it. I took 2 pictures of it. The other one had like closing on. So I put it in the chat. That's the other view of it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Well, that's pretty neat. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I went a little closer. I think let me see. Let me put that there. I think in the original.
Yeah, because I thought maybe, the closing was not that important. It's the more difficult part was the other stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is more difficult. Let me see. All right, here's my mouse. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's the one you submitted too, but I went a little bit closer there. All right. All right, let's just do this. Let's jump into it. And then you got both pictures there. So, all right, let's do this. Let's end this. Let's do our last drawing for the night. All right, so I'm going to start off with my circle. Here's my circle. There's my circle. Sketch. Block it in. Here's the forehead. And then here's the front of the face. And then here's the jawline right on that. And then here's that other jawline right there. These are my landmarks. And probably bring it down a little bit more, but it's all against the circle. The circle is the same height, same width. And then it's these 4 lines, these 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one up here, the forehead, right in there. Trying to get that kind of, trying to see that mass, right? That, and then from there we add the neck. The neck is the neck there, and the neck there at these 2 angles. See that kind of blocks everything in, but it's off the basis of that circle head. It's off the basis of the circle head. Let's see. Let me spotlight myself. I think it's good. All right. Oh, I'm missing the fireworks. That's all good. I can't do that anymore. Spotlighting myself. Oh, here we go. If I haven't, I will right now. Spotlight. Oh, I do have the spotlight. Okay, it's all good. That's it. I can probably zoom in a little bit. No, it's too much. All right, so I got my lines in. I'm pretty happy with them. Let's see. Find the one I'm using. No, not that one. Close that one out. No, I lost my, oh, there it is, right there. Ah, here we go. All right, so I got my circle more or less, but these angles are the ones that are important. I can make that bigger or smaller, but these angles here. And then now let's get the eyes. The eyes are in here. The nose, that nose line is coming out at this angle right in here, that nose line. So it's coming out kind of at that angle right in there. And then I can see that one eye is going to be right in here, right off that nose line. See, and I'm so what I'm seeing is just that shape. I'm not even doing it accurate. It's just that same height, same width. It's a little bit of an oval. So it's a little bit taller. And then I can see this other shape in here for this other eye. This is the eye brow. And I'm seeing this all together like glasses. I didn't draw that, but here, this is the top of the eyebrow. And then this is the eye that's going to be in there. So I see that shape. And then I see the shape of the eye that's going to kind of go in there in that space right there like that. And the hair kind of comes in. It comes in. I might have to bring this eyebrow back a little bit. The hair kind of comes in. The nose is going to be right about there. I'm drawing the bottom part of that nose. I'm going pretty fast. The lips are going to be right in there. I see I'm just doing the shape of it. The mouth, the middle of the mouth, right about there. Right about there. See, I'm just getting the spacing of it, in the mouth, and then the chin. That chin is going to be right in there. And there it is, it's blocked in. That's pretty good for block in. It's kind of blocked into that space, that this angle, this eye is higher up and bigger, and how it all fits, all these parts. And I can put some more hair in there. The hair does come out more there, and there's a big old bun up in here, big bun. The hair kind of drooping on this side, coming down here off the neck, right in there. Yeah, it just comes off the neck right in there. Then the shoulder at that angle. There's that angle. Shoulder coming down, and I don't know if we can get some of that clothing on there, but that's a whole other thing if we don't have time. All right, I'm going to start with the eye. I think I like the way it's all blocked out. I'll start off with these eyes. There's a lot to drawing these eyes, and that's a whole other lesson. So I'm kind of assume if you haven't practiced drawing eyes, this is going to be this is going to be tough. So I'm going to just do the best I can. The important part is this eye here, this eye shape, this one right here. It's an oval shape. Then inside is the pupil, the highlight, that highlight right there, but it's this oval shape. Let's zoom in more so you can see what I'm doing in that space. Trying to keep that highlight. Then this, it's pretty, that highlight, there it is. And then over that is the eyelid, that eyelid that's coming kind of straight across. And then comes in right in there on that side. Now, this is going to be challenging if you haven't drawn eyes or if you don't practice drawing eyes. Yeah. There's a thickness here. It goes from thick to thin. And then you've got the eyelashes kind of coming out. We've got two main ones. 1, 2. Those two right there. And then there's other ones, but then there's an eyelid. That thickness of the eyelid above that as it comes down this way. Now, I don't know how else to, yeah, if we're drawing, this is a lot of detail in here, and I'm drawing really quickly. So if you're not getting this, it's, I apologize, I'm going fast. But I'm also seeing how it fits in this space in there. See that space? I've got that eyebrow that's going to go in there right now, but that's the eye. And then here we go, the bottom part of that eye. Right in here. And it comes back and up. This is not as dark. So it's I'm kind of going a little bit dark. I'm trying to keep it light with this dark inky pen. It's also got some eyelashes down here just slightly. And I wish I could go lighter, but I can't. This would be lighter than I'm doing it right here. That's okay. It's going to just be dark as it comes up and around. Okay, fix that up a little bit. Yeah, and then all this, let's see if I can, yeah, I'm hatching marks. I'm putting hatch marks. All this is in shade right in there. That really makes that eyelid kind of pop a little bit. Bring the eyelid back a little bit. Let's get that eyebrow, the thickness of that eyebrow. And notice the distance between that eyelid and that eyebrow right in there. That distance. And then the shape, it does taper. It goes from thick to thin. That eyebrow, I'm sorry, eyebrow is thick to thin at this angle. It tapers. Fits right in there. Probably, yeah, a little bit more. Right in there. Yeah. You see, I'm just doing cross hatching really quickly. Yeah, this is definitely a lot more advanced. A lot more advanced. If you're here taking this on, that's awesome. I just kind of block it in really quickly. You got to know the proportions of the face and how everything fits and practice that. You know, if you're not doing that, you're not going to get this. This is definitely a lot more difficult because if things are off, that's what plastic surgery is. Plastic surgery, they're just making these little changes. Sometimes they do it too much, but yeah. Okay, so here's the bridge of the nose, the bridge of that nose coming down and out that way. See, so I've got that. There's a little bit of a bump on that nose. I think, yeah, right in there, that's where that nose is. That's pretty good. It does bump out. And then here's the nostril. Very slight nostril, it's not even much. It goes in that space. That nose, see, I can see that as a triangle. I can see it as I see, you know, when I'm looking at it, I'm like focusing in and out on all kinds of shapes. I can see like this shape as a triangle. I can see this this way as a rectangle, right? And I can do that, and I can switch back and forth really quickly. And that kind of helps me with the accuracy. Then here, the nose is shaded, but since I don't have, this is not going to be shaded, I can kind of put hatch marks there. See, hatch marks. It's the bottom part of the nose, and then there's a gap, and then there's the top part of the nose. The top part of the nose, right in there like that. See, and then I can probably put a little bit of hatch marks as the nose goes up. And this is instead of shading because of the ink pen that I have. This ink pen. All right.
I find that just stunningly impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a bit of it's understanding the form, and I'm just, I know I didn't break it down that well, but it's just practice, and it's you know, drawing a bunch of eyes, knowing that eye. For example, I just did it really quickly, but it's an oval. It's this oval shape, and I know it's an oval shape there, and then inside is that pupil. Then there's a highlight right in there. There's a highlight, but that pupil's in there. And then everything else is just shaded. It's all right there. And then you've got the, see, it's understanding the parts, right? All the parts and how big the parts and how they all fit. And I'm doing it here, but I'm not explaining it that well because I'm just doing it real quick. We've got the inside part of the nose. That little filtrum, I can't remember what it's called, something like that, right there. And then you got this other part of the cheek. Oh, go up a little higher. Yeah, see, I did an oval shape of where the mouth is going to go, but I can see it now. I can see the lip kind of goes in and up, and then it goes like that. A little bit of a mouth I actually barely see it open. It's really hard to see. But yeah, the mouth is open really slightly. And this top lip goes right in there. And the bottom lip comes out. And then here's the chin. That chin. Yeah, and this is just it's just experience, just practice, practice, practice. I'm going to shade the top lip. And then the bottom lip has a highlight. The bottom lip is just shaded on the top slightly, and then below that. Below that. And I'm hatching it. I'm hatching it. I'm putting hatch marks. What you can do is shading. Let me zoom out so you can see what that looks like. It's coming along, how it all fits together.
Pen and ink and that style, in my next lifetime, that's what I'm going to be, an artist who can do that.
You can. And it's just practice. Like here, like for example, you can take this one, this drawing here, and then just ink it in. You get some ink, and then like you can here's an ink, and then all right, I'm gonna ink this in with some lines here, and then just practice these parallel lines, and try to get the lines going in a direction, and it's just practice. Just practicing, knowing what you're aiming at too. Like, okay, and then looking at it, okay, oh, there's one, and seeing other drawings that are done that way, and getting an ink pen and shading it. I mean, not even, yeah, it could even be a ballpoint pen, because look at that skill, that tightness.
That and starting when you're 3 years old or 5 years old, drawing your parents' house
Well,
across the
yeah, I
street.
did start, but but I didn't do that till I was in I didn't start learning about hatch marks till probably middle school, high school, middle school, maybe middle school. I kind of started learning about hatch marks.
Yeah,
And
I'll
then-
learn about it in the old geezer's retirement home.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
assisted living.
I mean, if
Assisted
you
living.
you know what you're aiming for, you know what you see it, like it's just like shading. Like if you got a drawing, even with this one, like this one, it's simple ones. Like, okay, I'm gonna shade that nose. I'm just gonna shade it, even if you're going slow. You go slow at first, and then you slowly pick it up. You slowly pick up the speed. See, I just hatched it. That's a hatch mark. Even these shapes here on this thing, I can go in here and I can and then just little by little pick up the speed, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can do cross hatching, but you start just by doing it. You just start by doing it, and then just little by little, you just get better because of the practice. It becomes automatic. You don't even think about it. You just do it. Right? You just do it. See those hatch marks on that bird? And see, there it is. It's like coloring. No, but you're just now doing it. Just and it's pencil control. I can do that with a ballpoint pen as well. Let me see if I have a ballpoint pen right in here. Here's a ballpoint pen. Same thing with a ballpoint pen. Just go in here and see, the ballpoint pen is good. There. And I'm just shading by hatching right in there. Cross hatch, go in a different direction. And then on Tuesday's class, I think I went over a little bit of the hatching, talked about it in Tuesday's class. I don't know if you missed it. Lynch, that was his name, Lynch. He's an artist. Look up Lynch, cross hatching. Lynch, Lynch, cross hatching.
Got it. Yeah, I missed almost everything on last Tuesday.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, see the proportions, the placement of all this stuff. All right, let's finish this up. Let's finish this up. I gotta move. I gotta find the other picture. There it is. Get that other eye because I covered it up. Oh, wow. All right, last drawing for the night. And I'm having trouble. I know what I'm going to do. Copy image address, repaste it. There we go. That's it. All right. Oh yeah, all this is in shade. All this is in shade. Now I can see this shape here. The shape here, the shape of the I'll go ahead and just do it. The shape of that is coming in right there like that angle. Then you've got the eyelashes kind of going over it. Looks like we've got 3. Got one up on top, and then the 2 below it. 1, 2, and they go from thick to thin. They go out and they thin out. So they're going from thick to thin. Right there, and I don't know if that's too low. No, that's right. I'm looking at the placement. It is lower, and all this is in shade. All this is in shade. So yeah, there's a little bit of a lid up on top. I'm going around this way, and then yeah, all this is in shade. So let me see. What's really important is getting that eyebrow. Let me see the eyebrow shape as it comes out and over, and it's thicker, thickening it up. And then all this is in hatch. I'm going to shade, all this is in shading. So I'm going to shade all this. Just kind of go over it right in there. And there's a little bit of an eye. Say right in there. Shade. Just I can hide all this stuff with shading because it doesn't look that correct, but that's where it's at. That's where it's at. We can do a side-by-side comparison. Compare to despair. Yeah, don't compare to despair. You want to compare to learn. All right, so off of this forehead, right here, there's a little bit of a brow coming in, and then the forehead coming over right in there. So there's 2 parts. There's the brow, and then the forehead right in there coming up. And then everything else is just hair. I can just easily it's all kind of scribbled, kind of like it's scribbled in. Oh, definitely, I already have this line. That's a good one. And there's a cheekbone and hatching. I would probably put some hatching in here because that's shadow in there, kind of blush or whatever that is, the cheekbone. Kind of go back up there. Then this hair going over that. Hair going over that. Then a little bit of shadow under there because that pushes back. And then under the chin, a little bit of, and actually some of his shading looks like hatch marks. Or this person could be a female, him or her. Can't assume. And here's my jawline. I already have that there. Jawline. Yeah, these eyes. A little bit of shadow under that jaw. So here with some more hatching. And this hatching is probably a little bit tighter. I can actually even go with a cross hatching because it is a little bit darker. Yeah. Oh yeah, you should see my first hatching. First hatching drawings. They were, yeah, like I said, you got to get those bad drawings out. You just got to just do it. You just got to do it. And then reflect on it and say, okay, why doesn't it look like that? Why isn't it? Why? And just it's really just practice. See this angle as it curves around, trying to capture the form. And I can look at your work and say, okay, this is what you need to focus on. But yeah, all the hair, there's all kinds of scribbles for the hair. There's an ear in here. Right there. The inside part of that ear. A little bit of hatching. A little bit of hatching. And then all this on this side is dark, so I'm going to hatch all this real quick. Notice how that ear pops because of the darkness around it. Hatch again, different direction. Shadow of the ear in the back. More hair. That's a strand of hair kind of coming in. Kind of like that. Then I added to this hair. I had it there first, but I can feel that form. Bring that around. This should be thicker, the outline. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to thicken up my outline a little bit to give it a little more bold line outline. Just like the picture has it. And there's a Adam's apple goes in. out. Yep. A little bit of shading on the forehead as well. Let's see. Let's try to get light. That's really light. Hatching. It's more. There's a lot of scribbling in the hatching and shapes and stuff trying to capture. All right. I think that's it. We're going to call it a night. Ooh, 9:16. We went over a little bit. Oh, man, I didn't even check the time. Her back. She's got her back. Who's got her back? We got her back. Let's, okay. Let's, all right. Let me see. All right. Let's call it a night. All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking on these challenges. Keep taking on challenges. Keep sketching. It's a sketch. It's not a drawing. Although it looks like a drawing. But yeah, there it goes. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for the thumbs up. Any questions, comments, complaints, write it in the chat. Forever 1219 here. Wow. Forever hold your peace. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.